So it's not often that the Titanic is actually in the news these days, and the Titan, the passenger submersible, which can hold, I believe, 5 people, which is amazing for a deep submergence vehicle. That's actually went missing. Just getting reports about it now that I've been made aware of on Twitter, and someone else, Historic Travels on YouTube, also mentioned it. Um, I mean, I am hoping for the best. It's a bit of an interesting one. In case you don't know, the company Ocean Gate Explorations has been, for the past 2 years, actually doing sort of tourist visits to the wreck using the Titan submersible, which I said it's a pretty interesting piece of equipment. It's the only sub I know that goes to such depths, which can house more than 3 people. Part of the reason for that is obviously the pressures that are exerted on a hull. Submersibles in the past used to have to be made quite small, so usually a maximum of 3 crew members. But yeah, this one had 5, and I've been quite interested in the submarine for a little while, actually, ever since I heard about it, because not only is it large, it also has quite a large viewing port, which is also kind of unique and also mildly scary. And yeah, I'm just kind of rambling here because it's such a breaking story, but just kind of feel the need to talk about it. Reports that, yeah, it has went missing during an expedition. Now, there isn't a whole lot of details. It's not being reported yet if the submarine was on the way to the wreck, if the submarine was already at the wreck, or was coming back, or on the surface. None of that's really been reported on as yet, but of course the really important thing right now is 5 people are missing, and yeah, if you're a praying person, by all means pray for their safety, and I hope they're okay. I hope it is a case that they're just need to be found, and they're alive, safe, and well, and maybe there's just some power issues or something. Now, I'm just kind of throwing a little bit of my, I don't know if it's speculation, just my own thoughts here. One, talking about the submarines in the past, they often, I know Alvin, I think the Mears had this, and Tail had a kind of safety measure that if they ever lost power or anything, they had the capacity to basically shed the outer shell of the submarine, allowing the passenger compartment to float to the surface, just as a last minute dire need of rescue. It's never had to be used yet on any of those subs, but that is something that they had. In terms of the Titan, I don't know if the Titan has similar features. Looking at it, it seems to be designed more like a solid tube with the engines and that attached to the outside. So I don't know if it does have such a system, or maybe it can't shed ballast if needed. I don't know. I mean, if it does, and there was any sort of issues with the power cut ring, hopefully it's just floating on the Atlantic surface somewhere and will soon be picked up and everyone in there is fine. But again, we just don't know. There's just really nothing has been reported as yet. Twitter is being Twitter, like everyone's reporting on, everyone's got an opinion, and some pretty mean fucking comments. I'm not shocked, of course, people saying that because they're tourists and they paid thousands of pounds for it, like they had it coming, absolute shit like that. One, no, they're still human beings. And another thing, not everyone on that sub is going to be a tourist. At least one of them is actually going to be an operator, a worker, not someone who paid a lot to be there, even if you are to take that horrible rich person deserved argument. And, sometimes the people on board, even as passengers, aren't necessarily people who paid for it. You also get researchers, you get journalists, people have even won contests to see the wreck itself, so could be one of those cases, but even not. 5 human beings are missing, and I'd like to say I expect more from, some of the Twitterati, but honestly, it's to be bloody expected. But whatever case, it's kind of a story that we're just going to keep on top of. I just felt the need to talk about it because I've done Titanic-based videos in the past because it is one of my lifelong interests. And yeah, it's not often it's in the news, and it's just really unfortunate that there's a potentially bad news story arising. But hopefully not. Hopefully everyone is safe. But I guess we'll all just be watching this space and see what happens.